Okay, so lower level movement again. So this is another one that with the exercise, with the compulsive exercise, then that's quite black and white. You know, you can just be sort of like, you know that it's exhausting, you know that your body's tired, you know that really deep down you shouldn't be doing it, you know it's compulsive, and it's quite black and white. You either went for a run or you didn't. And if you're in recovery and you went for a run, well, guess what? You weren't in recovery that day, were you? So the lower level movement is much more of a grey area. It's very difficult to get through a day without doing any walking at all. So then your brain starts to play tricks like, well, you know, like I can't not walk anywhere, so I'm just going to walk a little bit extra and before you know it, you've been walking hours or whatever. And the other part is that it doesn't even have to be hours. It could be a 5-minute walk for all I care. If it's compulsive, if you feel that you have to do it, if you feel in order to eat that day that you have to do it, if you feel an immense amount of guilt and anxiety if you don't do it, if any of the above are true, it's compulsive and it has to stop. It is part of your eating disorder, period. And if you want to argue that, no, actually, that walk that I do every day at 9:35 a.m. on the dot exactly is not compulsive at all, and I really enjoy it, and I just like to smell the roses and see the birds and being outside, and I really love it, so leave me alone and stop telling me to stop. Fine. Keep doing it. I'll see you in 10 years' time when you're still doing it. And then you really will want to stop because you won't have any friends, because you can't ever go to coffee with anyone, because you have to go out for that walk at 9:35 a.m. on the dot, and nobody is interested in that anymore. See what I mean? So I know that deep down you do really know that whatever it is that you're doing that's compulsive lower level movement isn't harmless. And I know that deep down you know it's part of your eating disorder. I know that deep down you know that you need to stop. It's just scary, isn't it? It just comes down to that. It just comes down to being scary. And sometimes you don't even know why it's scary not to go that stupid fucking walk. It's just scary and you don't want to do it. Well, that's because your brain has attached onto that. Your brain has learned through your actions, through you doing that walk at that same time every day, that you absolutely have to do that and that it's important that you do it. And we have to teach your brain that no, it's not important actually. And your brain's going to kick up a big fuss because it's saying, but you've taught me it's important and bad things will happen unless I do it. And you just need to show your brain calmly that don't have to do it and nothing bad will happen if I don't do it. But the biggest part to getting to there is to you being accountable to what is a problem, and you not trying to make excuses and say, oh well, no, I just like to stand all day because like, oh, my back hurts if I sit down too much, so I just stand all day. Because it's not because it's compulsive or anything like that, it's just because my back hurts. It's about you calling yourself on your own bullshit and recognizing that you don't want to have to stand all day for the rest of your life, and you want to be able to go to the cinema and just watch a film with everybody else without getting up and down like a lunatic all the way through the movie. It's about that accountability and no more excuses. And you just saying, if it's compulsive, if it feels like I have to do it, if it gives me anxiety not to do it, it's stopping. I'm putting an end to it right here and now. And that's the hardest part. Coming to that decision is the hardest part. Because once you've made that decision, once you've committed to not following through with compulsive lower level movement shit, then actually doing just that, not following through, is really damn enjoyable. You know what? I love sitting down. I really enjoy sitting down. It was a hugely stressful, anxiety-provoking and scary decision for me the day that I decided that I wasn't going to allow myself to compulsively stand anymore. But at the exact same time, it was the biggest relief ever to just be able to sit the fuck down. It's worth it. So get your accountability head on and get committing to some stuff. And ultimately, all that's going to happen is your life is going to be a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable because you won't be a slave to all of this shit, meaningless shit that you've been a slave to.